Okay. Hey friends. So tonight, um, you're gonna think. I know this thread's been in the VC for a while, and it's Mr.fartboy79's Tony's uh, 500 subscriber plus um, tidbits thread, and you know, great idea. Um, it's just that for me, the first time I heard it, I think, how could I possibly answer this? I mean, I took this as kind of, there was a question that was posed to me by a college English professor, and we had to write a paper entitled "Who Am I?" And it's like, what the fuck, you know? I hate those kind of questions. And the thing of it was, the best way that I could answer that type of question, and this will reveal something maybe I shouldn't be revealing, but the best answer I took was from, for any of you who've seen Family Guy, um, the episode where Stewie bets Brian that he can't become, a popular high school student. Um, and basically, when discussing with the cool kids, you know, taking a shot at American teenagers in the statement that I use things that others have created to define myself. So that's basically the answer that I came up to that question uh, to my English professor, and of course that's not an answer. So that is something that was a little bit of a pain in the ass, and that's the way I originally took Tony's thread to be, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to answer that? It's like I was gonna stay away initially. Congratulations, certainly on that number. It's well deserved because knowledgeable guy with a vast collection of music, and very knowledgeable on the subject, of course. But then I watched Babylon Seeker's response to that, and I watched Derek's, and it there must have been something that just it got me to um, you know it got me thinking a little bit different way, and maybe I have a better answer now. But anyway, um, okay, so you know, like most people, I have I collect a bunch of things more than music. I have a bunch of other interests other than music. You know, everything. Big sports fan. Got you know autographs of favorite players and jerseys and other paraphernalia and whatnot. And I've collected a bunch of other things, other years to include Pokemon stuff and on and on and on. Um, and so I have other interests in everything. But the thing was, you know, and against my better judgment to get even on an extremely more personal note than I already have. Um, excuse me for a moment. Um, I needed to grab something here. Um, so okay. Um, I'm pretty sure by now everybody's you know what this is, and I think you've seen it. Yeah, it's a human hand. Obviously, that looks kind of funny. Um, yeah, I do know that and this, um, you know, and this and this one I can actually put all the way back with ease. Um, that is not. Uh, I don't know if normal is the right word, but I'll go with that. I hate that word as an adjective because my answer to that is, what the fuck is normal? What the fuck does that mean? Um, but anyhow, um, to explain that, and I've explained it before with, I'm holding up a record and it looks like I'm giving the camera the finger. But basically, I'll start at the beginning. I was born with and diagnosed at the age of 3 months with a condition called hydrocephalus. Don't ask me to spell it right now. I can, but not right now. And it's basically, a nerve damage, brain damage kind of condition, and it, and there's a bunch of other diagnoses as well, including a hemiparesis, another hard word to spell and pronounce and all that shit. But also cerebral palsy as well, and various other things that even go beyond my comprehension. I looked up Wikipedia, on the internet, hydrocephalus, and it went over my head. But basically, the way I understand it now is, and the way I've been told, it's the brain fluid in your head, and it's running there. But the thing with me is that mine didn't drain properly, and so that excess fluid pushed my brain against my skull, and it caused some damage. And eventually, if not treated, the head just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where a person with hydrocephalus can't even lift their head up, and you eventually die. And so, they have what's called a shunt. That basically they put in the head, they cut the head open, and they put this in, and it drains the fluid. I have what was installed at me at the age of 3 months to save my life. What's called a VP shunt, and VP is the name of the doctor person who invented the whole thing. You can look it up if you would like, but that's all the information. But it's basically a tiny piece of fiberglass that's on the, since it's the left side of my body, leg and arm. No, not any other body parts. I've gotten that joke. I've heard that joke. Talking about a certain body part that I will not mention here, because I will keep this as clean as I can. But I've gotten that stupid joke, and I wanted to punch the guys in the face, but I don't do that. Because if they turned it back on me, I'd be in trouble and probably end up in the hospital. But so it's left side, it's the right side of the brain. So they put this piece of fiberglass in there with a tube that goes down from right here through the back here, and there's a scar here, but of course with my hair you can't see it no more, but there's scars up here too. But there's a tube that runs down in here to basically my stomach, and I got another scar here, but I won't lift up my shirt to show you. But yeah. So basically, that shunt with the tubing, it drains the fluids, and I was able to, get rid of that excess fluid. I don't need it anymore because I've overcome the condition that I've got as far as I can. The nerve damage is permanent. There's nothing I can do about that. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that. That's the way that it is. And and that's fine. That's life. I've dealt with it all my life. So it's this is normal to me. To me, of course, I know it's not. It's you're not supposed to be able to do this, and it freaks my dad out all the time because he's a hand therapist. He works with hands, so that just it creeps the shit out of him. It's quite funny actually. But yeah, another thing with the foot, and actually, so that's the hand, and that's that whole explanation with, that's why it looks so strange, and with these dip fingers and all this stuff. But the other thing, let me show you my foot. Yeah. This is kind of interesting too. I can detach my foot. Obviously, right here. that right there. I know you can't see it, but that's the left foot. But anyhow, no, this actually is another piece. Um, it's there's a I just call it a brace, which is basically what it is. I think it's called an AFO, UFO, some bullshit like that. I don't know. This stuff was explained to me as a kid, and it's what when you're a kid, a lot of this stuff and it's still so Oh well. Um, so yeah, but fucking phone. I'll talk to you later. Don't interrupt me. I'm talking to my friends here. Um. Oh yeah, my foot. Getting back to this thing here. Yeah. So anyway, this thing. With this cool Velcro straps here. Yeah. Basically, this keeps my foot in place, so I can be able to walk. I can walk without it, but it is very difficult. And it basically, my foot. Your normal foot's like this. Okay, if you can see that. My foot does this. It dips a little bit in the ankle because of whatever. I guess it's because of the nerve damage, or maybe it's shorter. I don't know. Again, explained to me when I was a kid, and it just that was a long time ago. Because so yeah, um, um, uh-huh. So anyway, but what was I talking about again? Oh yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this thing helps me to walk. Um, and yeah, and no, it does not give me a mechanical advantage. I'm not superhuman because of this. It doesn't give me any advantage whatsoever. It, you know, it kind of does put me on an even playing field with everybody else. But I mean, still, I do walk with a funny gait, and it's like there's a skip and a hop in this stuff, and it's noticeable. Um, and it's kind of funny because I've never really gone in depth with anybody about this. Um, and it's like, for the most part, my family, at least my mother, father, and other family members know what's up because they were there from the beginning. But I don't really talk about this with anybody. I just realize now what I've actually done. Um, I've gotten a lot more personal with anything. I usually don't do this type of stuff, and I just realized, yeah, I'm posting this shit on the internet, and I just realized what I'm doing here. Um, but anyway, um, you know, but if it needed an explanation, I hope that kind of answers or puts the fears to rest. No, I'm not a complete alien kind of weirdness thing. But yeah, um, so maybe that's a little bit better. I mean, that is something about myself, and it's a big part um, of my life. Of course, I hope that's a better answer to the question. Um, and maybe it was something I needed. I don't know. Um, Thanks, Tony, um, for a great question. Hopefully, this is a better answer to it um, than you know using material that others have created, with which I define myself by. Um, but again, to borrow from things that others have created, um, I'm going to sign off tonight using a quote from Jerry Springer. Um, Take care of yourself and each other.